All right, make sure you got a Bible and your notebook. Open up to John 4. Here we go. Welcome to another episode of Studying the Life of Christ. Today we are looking at a story that I'm calling Surprising Faith, about a guy who we wouldn't expect to show faith, but he does, spoiler alert. And it is found in John 4, 43 to 54. So get that open, or in your harmony. Now, we're only looking at John, so the harmony is not super important. It gets to be more important later when we're looking at multiple passages. But this story is only found in John. Okay, so we have two characters we need to fill today. Who wants to do Jesus? Olivia. Who wants to do the Roman official? Yes.
Hey, you did it last time.
What?
We never did.
2 time and you
I
can't.
didn't do it. 4 times last time. I'm raising my hand. Let Kai do it.
Kai's hand was up too. Kai, you can be the Roman official.
The guy in the chair.
Why do you say the chair?
I was looking for a character that looked official, and he's a dude in a chair, so he looks pretty official. So, our character today is from Capernaum. So, Kai, can you put the Roman official in Capernaum?
It's Capernaum.
Jesus, where was he? Where did we have Jesus last week? Where was Jesus last week?
He was
in Samaria.
Jesus is in Samaria with a Samaritan woman. So put Jesus in Samaria.
I have Judean countryside.
The royal official in Capernaum. And what happened in Samaria?
She goes and spreads all the gospel to the people. She's like, Jesus is right.
Yeah, he talked to a very unlikely lady, a lady he probably shouldn't have been talking to for cultural reasons and racist reasons and cultural gender divides and people divides, also social divides, because she was a rejected person from her culture even. So a very unlikely person for Jesus to be talking to, reveals to her for the first time, really, like the first time reveals his identity, because they're talking about the Christ, the Messiah, and he says, I who am speaking to you is he. So like, whoa, like Jesus hasn't done that yet. This is the first time in his life that he has said, that we've seen him recorded say his identity, that he is the Messiah. Other people have said it about him, but he has not said it himself yet until we see this. So he stays in Samaria for a few days. Lots of people believe. That probably made Jews angry. But now he's heading back up to Galilee. Where did Jesus grow up? In Nazareth. So Nazareth is in Galilee. So he's heading up towards his hometown. Next week, we're going to look at Jesus going back to Nazareth. Oh, this next week is really exciting. I actually recorded it already. You're going to watch the video of it next week.
We're going to be going.
Yeah, you can watch it, but I recorded it. So, we need to move Jesus up to, where does he go? Someone read John 4:46. Asher.
As he traveled through Galilee, he came to
Cana.
Where he had turned the water into wine.
Yeah. So stop there. So Jesus goes to Cana. We've already looked at this story where Jesus goes to a wedding, turns water into wine, his very first recorded miracle. His first miracle. I say recorded because there's other miracles that have happened that aren't recorded, and how they refer to this miracle today is interesting. But he goes to Cana. So actually I did some more reading on Cana. And some people actually think that wedding was Jesus' sister's wedding. Did we talk about that?
Yeah.
We kind of talked about maybe a family member, but I don't think I mentioned that it was possibly one of his sister's wedding, which would make a lot of sense why Mary is so involved in like she's concerned that they ran out of wine. Like could have been his family's wedding. So likely a family member, but I hadn't thought about the possibility of his sister. So why would he go back to Cana? He's got family there, probably, or definitely friends. It's a town near Nazareth, and he's going back there. What has changed between now and the other time he was in Cana earlier and he did the miracle.
He's more old.
That's true. That is
Yes,
true.
maybe
He's
up
more
to
well-known.
not quite a year, but
He might be a little bit
time has
famous.
passed. Yes. So what did he do in Jerusalem that got a lot of attention?
Talk to a Samaritan woman.
No.
That was in Samaria.
That was in Samaria.
Yeah.
What did he do in Jerusalem that got a lot of attention?
He drove out all the
Oh, he-
sellers.
Yes, he went into the
He
temple
flips the
and
table.
was flipping tables. So that would have been heard about by almost anyone because that was just a huge, shocking event. You know when something big happens in our small town, like everyone knows about it, right? How long does it take for a big piece of news? I was going to say juicy gossip, but we shouldn't be spreading gossip. News to spread around our small town.
5 minutes, so then everybody knows.
Somebody puts it on Linden Neighbors and Facebook, and then everybody knows, right?
You guys have such
News spreads fast, okay? So Jesus' reputation is now preceding him as he goes back to Galilee. So this is the return trip from all the events in Jerusalem. And now remember, it wasn't just the flipping tables in Jerusalem. He's also been healing people and doing miracles. And now he's revealed himself in Samaria. And so people probably even heard about that he went through Samaria. And lots of Samaritans are believing, so there's a lot of buzz around Jesus now. He was kind of low-key, kind of under the radar. He is now coming onto the scene as people are getting excited. People are knowing him. He's a bit famous. So we can see how Jesus reacts to that too. So, there was... Asher, you want to finish that verse that I cut you off with?
Yeah.
What is it?
Verse
There was a
44,
government
46.
official in nearby Capernaum whose son was very sick.
Okay, so there's this royal official. So if you want to know if Jesus was well known enough, guess who knows about him?
Roman.
A Roman royal official. Well, okay. It's not, we don't know that he's a Roman official. I'm sorry if I said that. It says he's a royal official. So what does that mean? So he's in Capernaum, which is in the northern area, but what does it mean for him to be a royal official? Any guesses?
He has power.
High ranking, has power, but what is the kingdom set up in Israel at this time?
Empire.
The government is under Rome, but there's also, what else? What is the other government system? They have a king. Who's the king that during the Christmas story? Herod. Okay, so we know about King Herod. Is King Herod still king? No. Remember, he died, and that's why Joseph brought Jesus and his family back. So what is the status now of the king?
Another King Herod.
There's another King Herod. Actually, there's 3 King Herods. Okay? So the Herod of the Christmas story is known as Herod the Great. And he's dead, but he was king over this whole area. And again, he's a basic kind of a puppet king put in place or allowed to be in place by the Romans. He does he tries to be Jewish, but he says he's Jewish, but it's even suspect of his actual Jewish lineage. And he's definitely not a God-fearing Jew. But he's basically like he did a favor, or he's super rich, did a favor for the Romans, or did something that they allowed him to have power. So he's kind of a puppet king. But now, so that's how the Romans would take over countries. They wouldn't put their own kings in charge. They would let the locals have their own system of government and religion, but they would just tax them like crazy. So that's how the Romans would operate. Other, like the Greeks and stuff, would take over and force their language and politics on the people. And so there's different ways of conquering the world, right? So this is how the Romans would do it, is let a local king still run things. And so the people would feel like we still have our own government, but they really don't. The Romans are really in charge. The Romans are there and taxing them like crazy. So up in this area, there's a king, Herod Antipas, okay? So that is one of the 3 sons of Herod that likely royal official probably works under Herod Antipas. So we don't know much more than he's a Roman official. But he would have been important. He would have had power. He would have been rich. We know those things. Okay. So what's wrong with the Roman official? Royal official. He's what?
There's a sick person that's been
Who is sick in his family? His son, yes. His son is sick. So he must be really sick because this guy, this royal official, has left his hometown to go try and catch Jesus. What does that reveal to you about what this royal official believes?
Jesus can heal me.
He believes Jesus can heal. Or there's something going on. It probably also believes as a rich person, what else has he probably tried?
Oh, he's tried buying everything.
He's probably tried to pay every doctor, tried every medicine. Like, he's a rich royal. So he has all the resources at his disposal. That means he's probably tried everything. So his son is dying, and now he's going after a rumor, really, right? So this would have been a rumor. He hasn't met Jesus before, but he's heard that Jesus can do miracles. So what does he want? Let's keep reading. Henry, you want to read the next verse? We'll kind of just go around. So we start with him. 47.
When this man heard that Jesus had arrived in Galilee from Judea, he went to him and begged him to come and heal his son, who was close to death.
So he heard Jesus was coming close, went to get him, and how is his son doing? Bad. He's close to death, okay? So this is serious. He's worried, and he's doing anything and everything he can. But he's also heard about Jesus. So this indicates that he probably believes. So, Kai, we need to move the royal official to Cana, right? He leaves his town, and he goes to try to catch Jesus.
Yeah, he was in his chair.
So, what does he want Jesus to do? What does the royal official want Jesus to do? Hunter.
Heal his son.
Heal his son. How specifically? Like, what does he want him to, like, physically
He
do?
wants him to come back.
He wants him to come back to his town, Capernaum, okay? So, they're in Cana, and then do you see Capernaum's right at the top of the Sea of Galilee lake, right? So he wants him to take him there. So, what does he probably expect Jesus would do? How do you think the royal official would expect Jesus to react to his request? Come heal my son.
Let him do it.
He expected him to do it. Why?
Because
Because he's a royal official. He's used to people doing what he wants. He's used to people following his orders, and he's important and rich. You know, like if I don't know, who's the rich guy that you think of?
Trump. Elon Musk.
Jeff
Elon
Bezos.
Musk.
All right. If Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, comes to you, maybe what if he came and asked the Linden High School band to perform a special concert for him?
I would say
Do you think we'd do it?
no.
No?
Yeah, I'd be like,
I would.
no.
Okay, but what? Why? All right. Okay, maybe not. But why might you do it? What might you think is going to happen?
Money.
Yeah, we think we might get a fat donation from Mr. Bezos because he's got money, okay? So this is how rich people work, right? They use their wealth, their money to get what they want, right? This guy, he can buy anything. He's probably had doctors travel, but he's going out of his way. He's going to get Jesus, right? He could have sent a messenger, but he goes personally, right? And he wants Jesus to come back with him. He expects that Jesus would do it, I think, right? Because he's used to that, and he has money, and he has resources. Do you think it might help Jesus' ministry to have a royal official as a good friend?
Like Nicodemus.
Yeah, kind of similar things. What we talked about with Nicodemus. Is Jesus fazed by powerful people? Does he think like, ooh, I could get this guy on my team? Does he care about that? Does Jesus care about?
No.
No, he doesn't. Okay, so very similar to Nicodemus. Thanks for bringing that up. I think he's not reacting how we might expect a normal person to react in the presence of a royal official. Okay, so Jesus makes a statement here that is interesting. I don't think this is kind of a general statement. This is kind of the attitude I think Jesus is coming back to his hometown with. We'll see it more next week when he goes to Nazareth too. Alyssa, could you read verse 48?
Yeah. Unless you people see miraculous signs and wonders, Jesus told him, you will never believe.
So this is how he responds to the royal official, being like, will you come and heal my son? Now, he doesn't respond to him directly. What does he say? Who is he talking to? You people, which is kind of interesting. You people. Unless you people see signs and miracles, you'll never believe. Okay? So what is the attitude, do you think, of the people as Jesus comes back into Galilee? What do they want to see Jesus?
Do miracles.
Yeah. We talked about this before too, right? The attitude of the people. Jesus would not entrust themselves to him, but many people saw the miraculous signs he was doing and believed, but he didn't need man's testimony about man, for he knew what was in a man. Jesus doesn't need the praise and applause of people to think he's doing the right thing. He doesn't need big crowds. He's going to do the Father's will, and that's it. He doesn't really care if a royal official or a council of the synagogue person is a follower of him. He just wants the right people that Jesus is leading him to. So I think he's coming in kind of bothered that people just want to see him do miracles, and that people aren't believing with their hearts. So that's that statement. Unless you people see signs and miracles, you'll never believe. He's like, your belief is dependent on miracles. What is faith? What is the definition of faith? Believing without seeing. So, what is believing after a miracle?
Believing with seeing.
That's believing after seeing, right? So that's not necessarily true faith. Now, miracles being done can enable true faith. A lot of times, like faith is a requirement for miracles to be done often. But there's people who observe a miracle and only believe because they saw the miracle and they thought it was cool, but they don't believe that Jesus is the Messiah. They don't believe he's God. They're just like, wow, this guy can do cool tricks. So that's a belief, but it's not true faith. Do you see the difference of just believing things you see versus believing in things you cannot see, right? Like, okay, a difference here. 3 months ago, believing that the Linden girls volleyball could win the state championship. What is that?
That's faith.
That would be faith, right? Today, believing that the Linden girls volleyball could win the state championship, what is that?
Yeah.
We did win.
We won by
We won.
Yes.
What is that? Is that faith anymore? No, that's belief. I believe that's true because it happened, right? I watched it happen. Now, believing 3 months ago that the Linden boys football would win state, that would have been faith. Believing today that the boys would win state,
No. That's just false.
that's ignorance. Sorry, because I lost. Sorry, Linden boys football. Okay, I don't know, that was a weird example, but it worked. So, Jesus wants people to show real faith, right? The point of miracles is to show that that God is with Jesus, that he is who he's claiming to be. Not just to like do cool tricks, okay? How does the Roman official reply, Olivia? 49. Follow along if get your Bible open. I want everybody open in it.
Sir, come down before my child dies.
So come down before my child dies. So this is urgent. This is happening. We're in John 4, 50 now. It's 55 in the harmony. Hunter, could you read the next verse? That's a huge fly.
No, that's what I said.
Wow.
It's really, really long.
Giant. Hunter, 4 verse 50. This royal official says, Sir, come before my child dies. Jesus says?
Jesus said to him, "Go, your son will live." The man believed the word that Jesus spoke to him and went on his way.
Okay. So, this is awesome. The royal official says, come before my child dies. He doesn't really change his argument, but what changes here? From Jesus being like, you only want to see miracles to believe. What changes here? He says he'll heal him, and what does the man do? He goes. So he went from...
Oh, he believed without seeing.
Yes. Good job. So this man now wanted Jesus to come and heal, like something he could see happen. Now, we're talking about, I don't know, 30... There's a scale there. Somebody figure out how far... who's good with maps? Who's a cartographer?
Oh my goodness, wait, I know how
Figure out how far it is from Cana to Capernaum. There's a 10-mile scale down there at the bottom. Does that say 10?
Yeah, this is 10.
All right. How far?
20 miles. My Bible says.
20 miles.
Oh, wait, where
The
is
royal
it?
official was probably an officer
This
in
is
Christ
more
service.
like 15.
It would be about 30. It would be
So-
He'd walk 20 miles to see Jesus and address
It may have been a roundabout way, like,
Yep.
Around, not as the crow flies. 12 miles as the crow flies or so. So now send the man. Kai, the man now goes back to Capernaum. We got to move him again. There's a lot of movement going on. So send the royal official back to Capernaum. So Henry got it. This man is showing faith. Now, I think Jesus saw, because he sees hearts, I think he saw faith, and then he says, go. Like, he chooses to heal him, and says, go. And then, because he says, you people will only believe if you see a sign. And then he says it again, come, before my child dies. Like, Jesus saw at that moment, probably, the faith of this man. And then he says, go, your child will live. He makes a declaration. It's not just prophecy that he will live. It's like not just knowledge that, oh, he'll get better. I think Jesus did a miracle right here from a 12 to 20 miles of distance, and it shows something, right? What does this show? How is it different than the miracles he's done so far? It's far. It's distant. It's not, like, you can't do a trick, right? Some people, they like, oh, he just did a trick. It's like a magic trick, a sleight of the hand thing. You can't heal a sick boy that you just learned about from 20 miles away with any trickery, right? This has got to be real if it happens. So and then the man acts on the faith that's already in his heart, we believe, like Jesus saw that was in his heart, and then he proves his faith because he stops begging Jesus to come, and he believes Jesus at his word and goes back to see his son, who he believes is healed. So pretty cool. Take you at your word. Yes, that's so great. 51. Kai, can you read 51?
While the man was on his way, some of his servants met him with the news that his son was alive and well.
Woo! All right, so he's going back. Oh, he hasn't made it back to Canaan. Oh, well. He's on his way back to Capernaum, and servants meet him and says, your son is well. Now, listen to this. Elijah, read 52.
He asked them when the boy had begun to get better, and they replied, yesterday afternoon at 1 o'clock his fever suddenly disappeared.
So 1 o'clock or the 7th hour, his fever suddenly disappeared. This boy didn't just slowly get better, as some chance. At a specific time, his fever disappeared. Isley, read the next verse. 53.
Then the father realized that his son was the exact time in which Jesus had said to him, your son will live. So he and all his household believed. Okay, so miracle confirmed. He says, what time did this happen? He looks at his sundial watch. No, he's on the trail. And says like, wow. No, you look at the literal sun probably and be like, that's the exact time that Jesus said your son will live. Pretty cool, right? Like, how does miracles travel the speed of light, I guess? No, faster than the speed of light, right? It just happened as Jesus said it. The timing was right. The man confirmed it. What is the response of the man in his home and the whole household? They believed, right? So, coming back to this, what is the point of miracles? Yes, Hunter.
To show people that God has power.
To show people that God has power. What specifically around Jesus? Like, why is Jesus doing miracles?
Through God.
Yes, but why?
To show his power.
To show that he is God, so that, what's the result we want? Belief, faith, right? So miracles aren't just for show. They aren't just for cool. They aren't just to like make people's lives easier, even though they can and keep people from being sad because their sons die. Because eventually this son will die, right? Like he doesn't keep him alive forever. Like he prevents the sad tragedy from happening. But all the people that he rose Lazarus from the dead, he healed. Yeah, like all these people still die. What is more important for people than giving your sight back or being able to walk again or not dying? Belief, right? Because belief and faith saves us for eternity, right? So that's what Jesus cares about more. That's what the point of the miracles are. Not just to do cool tricks to get attention. Jesus wants people to believe. So the reason for the miracles is for faith, okay? Those things are locked in, connected
That is the reason and the purpose. It's not just to be like, wow, that's really cool. So the whole household believes. That's an amazing, amazing thing. All right, last verse. Faith, 54.
This was the second sign that Jesus did after coming from Judea to Galilee.
Okay, the second sign. Is this the second miracle Jesus has done?
No.
No.
But the second one is Galilee.
So John, it's very interesting. John calls miracles something different. What does he call them?
Signs.
Miraculous signs, okay? Now, I have a chart here. John actually, he talks about other miracles that Jesus did, but he chooses to talk specifically about 7 different signs that Jesus does. And it's not because Jesus only did 7 miracles. It's because John is specifically showing us different things from each miracle. And he's picked 7 to show us different things. So, number 1, what was the number 1 in the book of John miracle?
The wedding at Cana.
Water into wine, wedding at Cana. The second one also happens in Cana. Well, maybe not. Galilee too. This is this one, healing of the royal official's son. So this chart, like there's different ideas people have given to like why these 7. This one says the turning water into wine shows his power over nature and begins his public ministry. Healing the royal official's son, it says the purpose is showing his authority over distance. He heals by his word alone. So this miracle shows like, wow, like distance, and that he healed from far away. He didn't have to see the boy. He didn't have to touch the boy. He didn't have to slip him some Tylenol to make his fever go away. There was no trick involved. It was truly a miracle, and it shows that. So we'll kind of keep track as we go through John and the other 7 miracles. Healing the paralyzed man, that's in a couple weeks. Feeding the 5,000, walking on water, healing the man born blind, and raising Lazarus from the dead. Those are the 7 miraculous signs that John talks about. The other Gospels talk about different ones, but John chose to write his Gospel in a way specifically outlining 7 miraculous signs, and he calls them something different there too. All right, so that's our story. Jesus does a miracle here in a very unique way with a very unique person. He doesn't like try to become his best friend by like hanging out with a royal official, which would give him some street cred. He chooses to just believe his faith and heal him and send him on his way. And why or how? Okay, how did Jesus do this? Jesus goes back to Cana, and he expects people to only want miracles, right? He says that you people will only believe if you see miracles. But he finds a man with true faith. So write that down for our how. This is the method. He goes back to Cana expecting people to only want miracles, but he finds a man with true faith. Okay? This is the gem that he finds there, is this royal official. Why did he do it this way? What is he modeling to us?
Stupid thing. I thought it was broken.
It is broken. Jesus is modeling that Jesus' miracles were not for a show or for fixing. They were for faith. Okay? Jesus' miracles were not just for a show to get attention or something. They weren't just for fixing, solving people's problems, making their lives easier. Like, all good things he was doing, right? Helping people walk, helping people see. But that doesn't save them for eternity. Faith saves them for eternity. That's why Jesus came. Like, if Jesus only came to, like, make blind people see and make lame people walk and raise people from the dead only for them to die again a few years later, like, would he have changed the world by doing that? I mean, there might be a story about him in our history books. Like, one time this guy showed up and he had magic power to, like, fix people. It was pretty cool. And then you might know about Jesus if that was true. But Jesus came for so much more. He came he was God coming down to die for our sins, the sins of mankind for eternity, right? Like for everyone in all of time, not just for this tiny little strip of land the size of New Jersey for 3 years to make people's lives better. There's so much more that Jesus came to do beyond just doing some miracles, and the miracles had a purpose of revealing faith. All right, for us, Do we blank God or have blank God?
I think there's supposed to be that.
Where?
Do we?
I'm in weird spots.
I know, no, it is weird, but it's okay.
No.
I think there's a comma after the second blank that I didn't have in my paper.
Do we?
Can we do things?
Yeah.
Put a comma after the second blank. That'll help
This
us.
one?
Yeah. Do we blank God or have blank? God can do things we blank.
Wait.
Can't see.
Is it
Can't-
meant to be
can't
seen
see.
or seen?
Wait.
Before.
Have it.
No, that's right.
Haven't.
Seen before.
Yeah.
We haven't.
No, it's can't see.
No. Do we
Haven't
we have
seen.
my teacher trust God or have faith? Do we trust God or have faith? We have
No, there is no comma there. No,
There isn't. This is this.
It's
They
just
got this one.
faith.
Trust?
Or have trust.
Do we doubt God or have faith God?
Do we doubt God or have faith God?
What? Doubt.
What?
Do we
No, you're close though.
doubt?
No.
Test.
Have faith, God.
No.
Do we
Love.
Starts with an L.
It starts with an L.
love?
Love.
Lie. Lie to ourselves?
No.
Lollipops. Lollipops.
Limit. So what was possibly the royal official doing by saying, "Come to my house and heal my son"? Limiting God.
Yeah.
Limiting Jesus to the miracles he's heard about. Jesus has laid hands on people and healed them. But did he limit God? Did he limit Jesus? No. He believed that Jesus could heal from a distance, something he hadn't done before. Okay? So, do we limit God?
Yes.
Do we think God can only work in ways that he's worked before? Do we do that?
Yes.
Yes, we do all the time. Well, we expect, like Fellowship of Lanterns happening tonight. Do we expect God to do something that he's never done before at Fellowship of the Lantern tonight? No, we expect it to go like how it normally goes. When you guys went out on the street with Dare to Share, did you expect God to do something he's never done before?
Yes. Well, I was
Not really, right? This is a hard thing to do. Expect God to do something he's never done before? Can God do something he's never done before?
Yes.
Yes. He is an infinitely creative, powerful God, and he's always doing things he's never done before, which is crazy to think about. But we are small, finite, limited, tiny human brains that only expect to see things we've seen happen before. And that's not really miraculous, right? But God works in new ways all the time, and we should be expecting him and not limiting him to work in the ways that we expect. Sometimes when we pray for an answer, we want that prayer to be answered exactly how we want and how we think, and that's not how God works. That's often, God may do it the same way, but he often does something different all the time, infinitely creative. So, do we limit God or have faith in God, do things we haven't seen before? It is.
Don't worry about it.
Don't limit God. Expect him to do the unexpected, work in different ways. God is still doing amazing things, and we should be expecting that. Thanks, everybody.